everybody, Pixel Pond here, and we just got back from 64 Bits or Less in Corvallis, Oregon, which was such a cool show. Can't wait to tell you guys all about it.
What a fun show. It was really a great experience, very community driven. I really liked it a lot.
Absolutely, the vibes in this place were just amazing. Like, as soon as we rolled in, you could tell this was going to be a really community driven type show.
Yeah, super chill, right? That was one of the things that I really liked about it.
Yeah, and the setup was really cool too, right? Like how they had the vendors in the front and then the free play in the back.
Yeah.
Speaking of vendors, really cool stuff there, right?
Absolutely, such good stuff. I really was surprised at the large variety of things that they had there. So like we see at most retro shows, there was the usual video games and toys and collectibles, maybe some trading cards or something like that. Right. But additionally, there was a big focus on VHS tapes, and I thought that was really unique.
It was really cool to see all my favorite comedies from the 80s and 90s, because I'm big on like comedies from those two eras. And to see all those on VHS in like pristine boxes was really cool.
It was really awesome, and everything was really reasonable in price too. I was really surprised to see that. There was a lot of deals and finds to be had that I feel like lately at a lot of the shows we've attended, maybe you weren't getting such quite the deals of the show like you would a few years ago. It was pretty neat.
Right, this was totally different. You could go up and talk to the vendors and, you know, make a few deals, maybe trade something here or there. It was just really fun to see people actually passionate about gaming come together and put on an event like that.
Absolutely. And I also want to take a moment here to say a huge shout out to all the volunteers and the staff who helped put the show together, especially Erik. Thank you so much for having Pixel Pond out. We had such a good time and you were awesome to work with, man.
Yeah, huge shout out to the entire crew at 64 Bits or Less. We had so much fun.
Absolutely. So, should we talk about highlights next?
Yeah, let's talk about some of our favorite parts of the show.
Very cool. So I already mentioned the VHS tapes, which I thought was really unique. Of course, the highlight of the show for me really was going to be the vendor hall. Just a lot of the swap meet vibe and a lot of great stuff out there. I came home with more pickups than I have in quite a while, actually, and everything, again, really reasonably priced, so it didn't break the bank.
For me, I really enjoyed some of the things in the free play area, some of the unique things over there. So there were two things that really caught my eye and appealed to me personally. Back tucked in the corner, they had this retro PC kind of setup. So they had old Amigas and DOS PCs and just so many cool old computers and these really old-fashioned setups with a little desk lamp and the old monitors and everything. It was so much fun. I took a little time to play some Doom over there actually. And of course it had to be the Plutonia experiment that they had loaded. But it was a lot of fun regardless to play, especially on a keyboard. There was no like mouse or anything, you know. It was really great to play those old games like that again. And then the other thing was the projectors. They had these projectors with Mario Kart and Smash 64 on them. And you could just come up there and pick up a controller and their chairs set up. It was just really neat to see that.
Yeah, super fun. Just sit together and play with your friends and a bunch of like lawn chairs and stuff. It was great. Actually, did you see on Saturday afternoon somebody swapped out, I think it was Smash Brothers for GoldenEye, and that really took off for a little bit. It was super fun, yeah.
How can you not screen look when it's like
it's
a
the
300-inch
wall.
screen? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's
really
amazing.
cool. Yeah, and then right next to that was probably my favorite area of the free play arcade part, and they had a shooting gallery set up, so they had a whole bunch of light gun games all set up together, and those were really cool. I love light gun games. I haven't played some of those since childhood, but particularly I tried out for the NES, the Wild Gunman, and I was like, oh, I'm doing so good, and then I whipped my phone out to take a video and immediately died, so.
Of course, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of all of the cool things that we saw, of course we stopped by that awesome vendor area and picked up a few things for the collection.
I think I did pretty good this time. I got a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah, some really good stuff. You want to see? Okay, here we go. So we're going to start with a Game Gear game that I never had as a kid, and I think this is going to be really great. So let me hold it right here. So this is Tailspin for the Game Gear. So those of you who know me and know my Twitch streams know I love the Disney Afternoon games and the Disney Afternoon collection. I've never played the Disney Afternoon games on Game Gear. I had a Game Gear as a kid. It ate all the AA batteries in the house. It was fantastic. Many good memories, but this is one I never got to try out. And we got this from our friends at Jurassic Gaming. And so I'm really excited to give this one a try. They gave me a super great deal on it. The label's super pristine, the little Game Gear case, you know, you gotta dig it.
It's always neat to find licensed games from Disney or Warner Brothers or something like that, like the cartoons, and then to see like the, I don't know, Game Boy, Game Gear, that just, makes me happy to see them.
It's good stuff, huh? And so here's another one that I actually didn't know even existed. But again, for those of you who know me, know this was an instant pickup. In fact, Dux was going like, "You better just get this right now. We're not going to come back. Just do it right now." And so we got a copy of Bubble Bobble for the Game Gear.
Beautiful.
It's really nice. It's, again, in perfect shape, and it came with the game manual, which is really neat. So now I just got to look for a box, which I think will be not that so difficult to acquire.
We'll find one out there
eventually. So to add to the Bubble Bobble collection, right, we got another piece of it, which is so awesome. Yeah. All right, your turn. Let's see what you get.
All right, so I was excited because the first thing I picked up, it was maybe 15, 20 minutes after we were there, I was able to secure the film that's based off of the hit 3DO game, Demolition Man. Found the Laserdisc.
Yeah.
This thing is awesome. I mean, the art alone on this thing is just cool. The old Stallone and Snipes face off there, very cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah. We've been finding little bits of Demolition Man media here and there, and I don't know what. I guess it's time to collect. It's very unique if you're into sci-fi or comedy and don't mind a rated R picture. Highly recommend it.
It's good stuff. I would love to be able to someday share our Laserdisc collection through our Discord for our movie nights in the Pixel Pond. We'll get around to that one of these days.
We'll figure that out.
All right, my turn next. Continuing with the theme of Bubble Bobble. We have more Bubble Bobble. So, Bubble Bobble, the original NES game, holds a special place in my heart. I played it a ton as a kid growing up, and then again, I played it a ton in college with my former college roommate. She and I had a lot of fun with Bubble Bobble, all the Bubble Bobble games in the series. And then, for my very first RGB high score that I won, I played Bubble Bobble. And so this is really like, this holds a special place in my heart and in our retro community. I love this Bubble Bobble stuff. So this is a pretty nice box. It's got a little bit of wear and tear on it, but really for an NES box, it's in great shape. So this will be really nice to add to the collection cabinet. One thing it is missing is the manual, so I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for that. I think we've got something like 4 Bubble Bobble carts now, though, so I think we're in pretty good shape when it comes to original Bubble Bobble.
Yeah, that's another one. We'll figure it out. We'll
That's right.
find it.
That's
Absolutely.
Right. And we got that at Contraband Retro Games, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, of course, you know, the show isn't enough. We got to stop by a store on the way home.
Yeah.
But we did certainly get lots more at the show. Something I found really fun about the vendor area there at 64 Bits or Less was there was so many, even in the video games, we talked about the VHS as being something we didn't expect to see so much of.
Right.
But for me, it was the video games that I just didn't ever see or know existed. Like that Bubble Bobble Game Gear, I didn't know there was a Game Gear port. I had no idea there was a port of Maui Mallard and Cold Shadow for the PC. And I love retro PC, so of course I had to scoop this one up. And, you know, it was a few bucks, really good deal. Always fun to see these out there.
That's good stuff. Here, I'll take that one for you. Why don't you go ahead and show off the next one too?
Yeah, so speaking of fun things to find, I got a really good game for the PS1 and then a super good game for the PS1. So I'll start with a really good game. Crash Bandicoot 2, and this one even has like the, here, let me try to get the reflections off it, the little holographic kind of, when you move it back and forth, it kind of moves a little bit.
That's cool.
So that is really cool. But even better, Austin Powers Pinball.
I would like to take credit for finding this one. Thank you very much. I just whipped it out of a box and was like, you need this.
I gotta give you credit for finding this one. I love stuff like this, weird licensed games that shouldn't exist. Austin Powers and Pinball, I don't know if those should exist in the same title, but here we are, and we gotta see what this is.
Absolutely.
So, really happy to see stuff like this at the shows.
Good stuff. All right, so this is the big find of the show for me. It wasn't the most expensive, but it was the most unique. I was really stunned. And again, we actually found this at our friend Erik's booth. So this is Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland for VHS. Yeah. So cool. I've never seen a copy of this movie in a store in any format before. And I know that, you know, we all in the retro community love the amazing Capcom game, Little Nemo Dream Master. So again, this would be another movie I would love to show someday in Discord. Now, full disclosure, I don't have a VHS player. I had to pick this one up just for the art alone. It's so unique looking, and they're trying very hard to make this competitive with Disney classic movies.
Yeah.
There's so much on it, like it's as good as Disney.
Yeah, right? I thought that was
silly.
Hilarious.
It's very funny, but yeah, it sounds like a really great one, and I did check this morning. There is a DVD release of it, so someday maybe I'll find the DVD release and we'll be able to watch it in Discord, or we'll get a VHS player that works. Whichever comes first.
All right, so the last couple things that I snagged from 64 Bits or Less are Valve related. Valve is my favorite PC developer, so it was really cool to see these couple of things, one from my favorite game and one from the game that got me back into PC gaming after years and years and years of being away. That would be Left 4 Dead 2. I'm sure there's a few out there who have played this game with their friends, 4-player co-op, just a lot of fun. And it was really neat to find this physical at the show. Thought it'd be fun to add to the shelf, just for the memories.
Totally.
But the big win here for me is this Portal 2 Collector's Edition guide. This thing is incredible. It's got Atlas and Peabody here on the front. It's got, I don't know what these are called. Does anybody know what these are called? Are these page keepers, bookmarks?
Ribbons.
Ribbons, page ribbons?
Page ribbons.
If you know what these are, tell us in the comments.
I'm sure people will love to tell us.
But there's so much cool art in here.
Yeah.
And of course, it's also a guide on how to play the game. But yeah, I wanted it mostly for the art and because I love Portal 2. So this was a really fun find. You found this one, actually.
Well, you know me, I'm always looking at player's guides because I love to collect books about video games. I mean, it's been a lifelong theme for me, is being able to read something about the game that I'm playing just really adds another element to it. Which brings me, you like how I did that? See, which brings me.
We call that a segue in the business, folks.
It brings me to the last pickup here, which is another player's guide. So when I was a kid, I had a couple of the missed games. I had the first 3. I got the third one right when it came out, and I think I was just about to leave for college, so I didn't play it very much at the time, which I probably could have, but I don't think my college computer could have handled it. It was just, that thing was falling apart. Anyway, but yeah, so this is the official guide to Riven. And so as a kid, I played tons of Myst with a friend, and we did so poorly in that game. We spent hours.
Most people did poorly in Myst.
Yeah, trying to figure it out. We did eventually get the correct ending. I don't remember if we looked it up or if we asked a friend, but we did finally beat it. And so of course I had to pick up Riven, and I got 3 discs in maybe, and was like, nope, I can't get any farther than this. Yeah. And I tried over and over, and I was like, nah, I'm just stuck. So now that I have a player's guide to it, maybe I'll actually be able to finish it. Yeah. Who knows? The cool things about these games to me is they're not like your traditional point and clicks in a lot of ways. I mean, yes, they are point and click games, but they're all just about thinking your way through puzzles with almost no narration and no audio support, just music and sound cues, which to me made it so different than the other point and click games that I was familiar with. Yep. Yeah, really different from your traditional like LucasArts or something like that. Right. There's no, you can't do that when you click something, right? Right. All right. Well, I think that's about it for updates from us. Again, a huge thank you to 64 Bits or Less, and if you are in the area next year, be sure to stop by. Absolutely. Thanks again, everybody, and thanks for watching this video. Take care. See you next time.